Hi, welcome, welcome. I am so glad you joined us today. I am Kelly Pitts, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Lubbock, Texas, and I have a blog and website at createwithkelly.com. So we'd love for you to join us anytime for a class around the Lubbock area. We've got in-person classes. I also do online classes. I do class to go kits. Just about anything you need, we're going to do it. We've got a wonderful paper crafting community here we call the Create with Kelly crew. And we do lots of fun things together, whether it's some of the things are just for team members and some of them are for everybody. So we'd love to have you join us. But thank you for watching today, whether you're live on YouTube or live on Facebook or you're watching the replay. Would love to know who you are and where you're from. Just kind of leave me a comment. I promise not to hound you or anything if you leave a comment. It's just always fun. It makes me feel like I'm talking to somebody that way if I know somebody's responding. Also, I have my friend Jan here as a helper today again, so I'm thrilled about that. That makes things go a lot smoother. Today, we're going to do 3 different cards, and then one of them out of the 20 that I made is a duplicate of one of the cards that we're doing today. So actually, we're finishing up our series. I did a total of 20 cards from the Wildflower Birthday Suite from Stampin' Up! And that is just from the half a pack of the DSP that comes in that suite. So it has been a lot of fun to play with. Let's get where I can see the comments. Please say hi when you come on and let me know if you're on Facebook or YouTube or watching the replay. Like I said, you're welcome, welcome. And I do, if you need any of the products that we're using today, I have the host code there at the bottom of the screen, and my website is createwithkelly.com. And you can email me or text me anytime, just if you've got any questions or need some help. I'm happy to help. Thanks. We'll switch this over so I can make the camera larger here. And all right, we are going. We've got a peach pie base, card base, that is your typical, and this is just kind of a rough. I haven't finished it or put the dots on, and actually I've stamped on the back and all that. So we're going to change this up quite a bit. Not quite a bit, but some. And I've got my inside over here ready. Show that in a minute. All right. This is our peach pie card base, the typical 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. And we have a piece of designer series paper that is 4 by 5 1/4. And we're just going to go ahead. I think I'm going to use seal on this. I usually, if it has much foil in it, I prefer to use seal. And we're going to use the silicone mat. This is what I always use when I'm gluing, or I try to always use it. And that keeps it from getting on your work surface or your paper where you don't want it, whatever. So I'm just going to use the stamping seal so that we for sure don't show any of that foil. The foil doesn't show the glue through. That's what I mean. Not really saying that, but okay. We've got that. Now we're using the die as well as the stamp set from the birthday celebration. And this die can be used like as a banner, as a pocket, a pennant, whatever you want to call it. It's a very versatile piece. So that's what we've used here. I've already die cut them out, so you didn't have to watch that. And then we're going to stamp on this is our Stampin' Pierce mat. And originally I had 2, or I still do. I have one that's made for piercing, but I just grabbed the wrong one. This one we used to do a technique called piercing where it was almost like a little needle and you made a pattern in your paper and pierced on a mat. And I usually use a separate mat for stamping and one for the piercing, but it's still called a Stampin' Pierce mat, I believe. So this is what I use for my stamping, especially if I'm using photopolymer stamp sets, because you get a much better impression. It really helps helps you get a solid, darker image that is a better impression than if you don't use it. And that's simply because on the photopolymer stamps, we don't have the cushioning that the red rubber stamps have on them. So I will get this going here. We've got Hooray for Cake Day. We're going to start with the Hooray.
Do you stamp the dots first?
I'll do them after because I'm going to do them in this corner.
Okay.
Thank you. Jan's keeping me on task here. I am going to stamp a few little dots for the cake to sit on. I kind of like when I have an image that's floating, I like for it to have something to sit on. Even if it's not much, it's just a little bit of something to sit on. And this one is going to be Cake Day. It's going to be on that side. We're still using the Blueberry Bushel ink. And I'm kind of making sure the day and the 4 are fairly straight along the edge of the bottom of the banner. And then we'll do our little dots. And the little dots that I'm using, this is called, I call it a splatter stamp, but it could be called anything, I guess. But I'm using the one from Layering Leaves. We have had several of these stamp sets that have a splatter pattern similar to this. And there's one that's a texture one that is online currently. And it is really pretty. And I have not gotten it yet. It has some writing, or I can't remember exactly the name of the set, but it's some kind of texture set. Okay, I'm just going to make this a little heavier over here where I'm going to put my cake. Get a little bit of that, and then I'm going to stamp off up here to just have just kind of a little bit more of this kind of coming across maybe in the background, but not much. A little bit lighter. You could also use Versamark up here if you'd rather do that. If you want just a little bit lighter, since we do have kind of a busy background, you don't want to overdo it. Okay, now we're going to switch to pink. We've got I need our cleaner. And then we're going to do pink dots right here with the pretty in pink. Little heavier dots here at the bottom, and then just a little bit up here, kind of stamped off. This is for the cake, and then stamped off a little bit there. Now, we didn't overdo it. So we're going to, dang it, I got a little pink on there, but hopefully it won't matter. Now we'll just glue. We're going to use Stampin' Dimensionals and put our Hooray 4 banner at the top. We want to line these up so that we've got, you could go all the way to the edge if you wanted, but I'm going to line it up with the DSP. And I'm going to try to get kind of an even border here, here, and here. So kind of audition your pieces so you can do that. Get that even. If anybody has any comments or questions, let me know. This has been a fun suite to work with. We're trying to get 20 cards completed here and within a couple of weeks. And I actually kind of did the overall design of most of them in about a day and a half. And then it took a couple of days to cut all the kits out and for our in-person class. But we sure had a great time on our first Stamp-A-Stack where we did the first 10 cards, and we're looking forward to the next one toward the end of February, maybe early March. So everybody got a half a kit, half of the DSP pack, specialty paper pack from Stampin' Up out of the Wildflower birthday suite. And we had we got some mesh, some of the open weave gold mesh ribbon, and we got some of the thread that is just beautiful, the gold twisted thread. And we're going to, let's see which cake we want where. I think we want that one there. Or do we want that one there? Which way do we like it? Oh, that's got the pool party bottom. So we'll put it up here. That was an easy decision, wasn't it?
So can people buy the kit from you?
Yes. Oh, the kit that I have made up, I am not going to make any more of those up, but I am going to sell the PDF tutorial that tells you how to do it out of your supplies. And that way you know exactly how many pieces, if you're going to make all 20 cards like I did, you'll know exactly how many pieces of each color cardstock and what size they are and all that. But it is so much easier. Usually when I announce a class and send out a newsletter that's got the class information on it, and maybe do a Google form that goes to my subscribers, then you can order your kits then from me. But I am not going to be making that because I'm going to be moving on to the next thing. So I'm not going to make any more of the kits, but I'm happy to share the PDF tutorial, which has a lot of information on it. It is not actually a tutorial. It's more of a project sheet because it is actually, it doesn't have the instructions since I will have a video for each card. So that's kind of the way I do my instructions. That is overwhelming. I don't think we really have to have, we could use one little bowl, maybe a little smaller if we decide to. We don't want it on the cake. I don't think it kind of overwhelms the cake. Do we want one? Do we want a little bow? Do we not want a bow? Let's see if we want some party dots. These are part of the Wildflower birthday suite, and all of these are in the Stampin' Up! Mini catalog that is available right now. It's a January through April, so it is a new catalog still. There's been a lot of fun to play with. We just always have so many goodies. I'm just going to barely touch this down so that I can move it around if I need to. And we've got a little bit of peach, and we have the peach cardstock, so maybe we'll pick up a little of the peach up here by one of the peach flowers that we have right here. And then where else would we want another? Do we want a pink at the bottom? Kind of got all these things on a little,
perfect.
All these little strips.
Perfect.
Okay, so no bow, huh? If we've got that dot there, we don't need it.
Nope.
All right, easy peasy. Now I'll show you what I did on the inside. And rather than, since we're trying to do 3 cards today, I'm trying to do a few things ahead. But all I did was take the layering leaves splatter stamp that I showed you earlier, and I just turned it different ways, and I did pink, 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 and then peach, peach, and the pool party. And then we're going to add a little strip. This is about, as I've explained in my past videos, the sheet of paper that has all of these cakes on it. There's a lot of cakes, but they are in a row. If you cut them properly, you can get a full strip of them. You can see right here. And that's, if you'll just pay attention to lining up your trimmer right between the rows, it's about 7/8 of an inch. So don't try to do an inch on every one or exactly 7/8 on each one, but that kind of gives you an idea. But just kind of line it up so that you're not cutting off either of these 2 rows. And then you can get all these rows that are perfect for the inside of the card, or you can use them actually on the front if you want. But all I did was stamp those, and I think that's going to make a fun little extra something special on the inside. And then we're just going to glue this strip to it, and then I'm going to add Make-A-Wish, because that's what you do when you have birthday cakes with candles, right? Is Make-A-Wish. So I kind of chose the colors. This one, see, the cake has pool party, so I used pool party there. And then these have the peach flowers, so I used peach there and pink. But you can do it however you want, because you may have a different pieces of cake there. Whoops, I keep trying to want to glue that in instead of stamping my Make Our Wish. I've got that right here. We're going to go ahead and use Blueberry Bushel again. I think we'll do it there toward the top. Make a wish. There we go. We are finally ready to glue this in. And when you have a dark color like the Blueberry Bushel or Blackberry Bliss or any Cherry Cobbler, any of those dark colors, I recommend giving it a few seconds to dry before you close it in there or in your card, or before you run your fingers over it trying to get the glue there. I'm just not going to even touch that area until I'm sure that's had an opportunity to dry. So isn't that fun, the Make-A-Wish? I think the little splatters kind of fit with the wish to me. That seems a little magical. So there's our card. Pretty, pretty. All we need is a little bit of Wink of Stella. We'll see if this is our old one or our new one. I believe it's a good one. So I'd say some little layers on this cake would be really pretty. Some little wink wink on the candles. And we're set to go. That's our first card. That is card number 17, I believe. And we're ready for card number 18. That one is going to be an old olive card base. And I'll show you kind of a rough. This is just kind of what I'm playing with here. And we're going to have two banners that are the soft seafoam. And those are from the Stylish Shapes dies that have banners and circles. And we're using both the banners and the circles on here. And this is Stylish Shapes. It's number 159183, if y'all are interested in that. If you don't have it, you should have it. This is a basic set that I use all the time. And most of my people do too. Then we're also this one is a pretty subtle, it looks like it is kind of a busy pattern, but it really comes out to be a subtle one, even though it's a 3D folder. And this one is called Dashing Designs, and it's number 163483. If y'all are interested in that, and I'll show you that wonderful texture here in just a sec. I'll give you an up close look. Isn't that pretty? We were trying to decide what to call that yesterday or whenever we were doing the last video. I forgot, a couple of days ago. It's not. Sorry, I had to get abstract. I don't think it's really abstract because it does have a specific pattern, but there's probably a word just for these little triangles and squares and circles and something. But anyway, Jan and I both like it, so that's what y'all are getting today. It's all about what we like. Okay, we're going to, I've already stamped, I've used that same stamp from the Layering Leaves, that little splatter stamp I used Pretty in Pink on there. In fact, I'm going to do it again because I did that on the back. I'll go ahead and stamp that again. I forgot about that. I'll show y'all the Pretty in Pink with that splatter stamp. And I just kind of went all the way around the circle. I kind of turn the stamp so it doesn't look the same everywhere. And you're kind of covering up the middle there with the cake. So it's not crucial exactly how that's done. All right. I think that'll give us enough variety. And I think that's all the stamping there. We'll go ahead while we're at it and stamp the inside. And I think let's do Make-A-Wish on this one too. And I'll go ahead and use some of that pink splatter around my Make-A-Wish. Let me get my Blueberry Bushel open here and I'll do my pink splatter. Whoops, almost did that upside down. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Or do we have another? I guess I'll just do that. I really like to do something in the corner. But we're trying to do 3 cards, so I'm going to move along. We're going to stamp with the little Make-A-Wish. I'm just going to splatter kind of through that over there. Probably should have given it a little bit longer to dry. Looks like I smeared just a tad right there. But I kind of like that. Make-A-Wish. Okay, probably too much. I don't know. I'm going to flip it. Okay. I think I will use one of those little extra flowers that we had in the kit. Maybe, well,
right here.
Yeah, I might do this on the inside, but I don't know if I want the pink splatter with that. We'll just go ahead. I'll stamp the Make-A-Wish again and see what I want to do. Maybe we want to do a cute little pink flower there. Could we do the leaves and the little pink flower? Okay, I'm going to do Make-A-Wish here where I wanted to initially, and then I didn't do it and I messed up. So, okay, we'll clean this. Hope y'all are having a great day today. Everybody who's watching, thank you again for tuning in. Just going to do a little bit there. And that was... I like that better. Now we'll do our little pink flower. And I've got the old olive ink over here. And I've kind of decided that it's easier on the, if you're doing a 2-part flower with this set, I like actually stamping the leaf first, the stem and the leaf.
Why?
I just think I can line it up better if I do the leaf and the stem first, and then I come back and add the flower, just being able to look. And that way I can change the angle of it. Because sometimes if you just stamp the flower and not think about the angle that your stem would be, if the flower were like that, it might make your stem kind of at a funky angle, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
that's why I like it. Makes sense.
And I think we're good to go on that one. If that were a dandelion, it'd be really cute, huh? With the Make-A-Wish. And don't you make a wish on dandelions?
Yes.
Blow them in the wind. And you can use liquid glue, you can use seal, whatever you want to use to glue that on the inside of your card. Just get you an even border all the way around. This piece of white is 4 inches by 5 1/4. Typical inside. And if I didn't tell you, the base is the typical outside, 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. And we're going to take our piece of the designer series paper. It's so hard to cover up these foil cakes on the other side, but this side is really pretty too. And you can't put a cake on every card, right? So these stripes are a nice fun change. And I'm going to make the top one a little bit smaller from top to bottom than I am the bottom one. I feel like the bottom is heavier in my mind. So it is going to be a little bit bigger. And I tried it earlier with both of them exactly even. And we can hold it on here and see. I'm not going to glue that down all the way, but I'll show you what I mean. There we go with the bottom a little bit wider. You wouldn't want to do the top a little wider, but the bottom can be wider. And then we're going to put the things right here, the banners. I'm actually going to go ahead and stamp a happy birthday. Well, I may just use this one that's already stamped. It'll be fine. And I'm going to cut. I'll just use this one. Y'all know how to stamp happy birthday. I'll show you the set that's from. It's called Friends for Life. We have used this particular happy birthday on a lot of the stamp sets in here. I mean, on a lot of the cards in here. 163359 is that item code for the stamp set. And we'll see what y'all think. And if y'all think that bottom is too heavy, we will make it the same as the top. But I wanted my cake to have a space down here, kind of off. And I wanted this lined up with the bottom of the paper, the DSP. And then the cake sticking up at the top. Oops, I'm sorry. Y'all holler when I'm off the camera, people. I'm sorry. Maybe I can hear you if you yell loud enough. Okay. Are y'all good with that? It may be too late now. Yep, it's pretty glued. So if you want yours to be both exactly the same, y'all can actually measure those and do that with your pinks. But I'm going all the way across, so that means these pieces are 5.5. And again, I'm going to have a little bit more room here at the bottom than I do at the top because my cake stand comes down further. Then the cake sticks up over the top. And you want to use plenty of glue because you're gluing it to a textured surface. So you've got to get the glue down in all the nicks and crannies. Okay, and then I just stamped the happy birthday there on that banner. These are soft sea foam. And you would need a piece about, I think it was 1.5 by 4 is about the size I used to cut these banners. And then this is, I believe, 2 inches by, I left my piece of paper. The white circle that we're going to use is about 3.5 by 3.5. You can cut that out of. And yeah, this is, the DSP is 2 by 5.5. And then these are probably about 1/2 inch, 3/4. You're going to cover up a lot of it. So probably could get by with 1/2 inch. But you might do 3/4 just to be safe. And then I'm going to trim this. It's not exactly even on the side. So I'm going to flip this over to trim that from the back. And that gives you a better result usually than trying to guess from the front, because you can see exactly how much is hanging over when you turn it to the inside. Okay, we're going to pop this up and we're going to pop this up and we're going to cut this in half so I can make 2 cards with this one banner, because only a tiny bit's going to peek out here and no one's ever going to know that this banner does not go all the way across, right? It looks like it is. Well, I guess you will know, but y'all won't tell on me, right? Y'all aren't going to tell. I don't think it's critical. There we go. And then if we have to move these, we will. But I think I've got that about right. And I'm not, as you can see, I'm not putting dimensionals on the other end because we're going to have some on the little circle. I'm making sure this is lined up. And it goes about the same amount from the right side to the corner of the banner and the left side to the corner of the banner. And then we're going to pop this up right here where that's just barely peeking out. This could probably be a little further that way. Try that. There we go. Let's make sure it's still lined up. I think that's close enough. Now we'll pop that up. Let's make sure about our cake. Okay, see how we've got kind of a little more, got a little of the cake hanging off there and some off the bottom. You don't want it all the way down, probably. So kind of center that on there. And then we'll pop this here, 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 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should do us. Who else out there has this Wildflower birthday suite? I would love to know in the comments if you've played with it and if any of you have gotten the coordinating scrapbooking kit. Did y'all know there's a whole, besides all the wonderful die cuts and tags and papers that are in that DSP pack, you can also get a scrapbook kit that has even more die cuts and even more fun things that coordinate with these. The papers are similar, but they don't have the gold foil. So they're going to give you a little bit different look. You'll have some different background papers, but if you're not a scrapbooker, you can certainly use those for card making also and just have a bigger variety. But everything will coordinate with this Wildflower birthday suite with the greetings and the other papers. So if you want to do a huge kind of a class, or either just grab one suite and see how many different cards you can make with it, or see how many multiple cards you can make, kind of depends on whether you're a demonstrator or a customer or a hobby demonstrator. And there are so many things you can do with that suite. And the colors are delightful. And because you've got pastel colors with the soft sea foam and the pretty in pink, yet you have the bolder blueberry bushel that's a little brighter that kind of balances that out. So I'm using just the edge of my Stampin' dimensional sheet here, and you could use your foam adhesive strips if you have those. So we're wanting this cake to stay popped up. So we've got it standing on its head. Okay. Isn't that a pretty cake? Oh my goodness. Okay, and I like covering that top. I'll kind of show you what I'm doing here. I'm making sure this little curve covers up part of those dots there. I don't want it to look like just 3 dots here and then more here. Let me show you what I mean. See how that looks kind of awkward? So just always pay attention when you're positioning your die cuts, not only how the die cut itself looks, but how that negative space behind it looks. So that's a little higher than I originally wanted it, but I really like the way that the dots work that way. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. Cute, cute. So all of that can be moved down, moved up. You can kind of change it to be the way you want it. And it looks like I need another dimensional underneath this part. To me, maybe I need one just right there. I was thinking I needed it under the happy birthday banner, but I really think I need it. Oh, I lost my sheet of dimensionals behind the desk. So hopefully I have enough without that. Okay, now we just have to, oh, we've already stamped our inside. We're already done. Woohoo! Happy birthday. Make a wish. What do you think? Here's our first 2 cards. Y'all be thinking about which one's your favorite. And then wait and see the third one. See what you think of it. Here we go on number 3. This one is an old olive card base also. And we're going to make this one where it is a flexible greeting so that you could use it for different things. Of course, whenever you make yours at home, you will be able to put whatever greeting you want. But I thought it would be nice. This is so pretty. Thought this was really elegant. I'll show you what I did here. I just took some tape and using our open weave trim, the gold open weave trim, I just wrapped some of it around the back, taped it, You could use tear and tape if you want. You can use Scotch tape, whatever you've got. And just it really elevates that blueberry bushel piece. And then I'll also use the swirly folder. It's called So Swirly. And it is not a 3D folder. It is it's in the annual catalog, I do believe. Let me see if I've got it in the floor over here. Here it is. I had it with my die cutting stuff, my embossing stuff. It's called So Swirly 163791. And I really think it is beautiful with to have all the swirls with the leaves of the flowers. And this is one of the reverse sides of the paper. We used this scalloped paper on another card. I think that was in our first top 10. I'm not sure. Our first 10, not our top 10. But I think this is really pretty, brings out the peach. I really like coordinating, bringing up the colors where they're repeated multiple times. So we've got this soft sea foam and old olive repeated. We have the peach and the blueberry. So we're going to stamp For You on here. You could also use the happy birthday that we used on this card. It would fit perfectly on there, but we're going to use the For You and then put best wishes on the inside. And that way you could use it for anniversary or birthday or wedding or whatever. Take your choice. So here we go. This For You is from the stamp set called Greetings of the Season, I believe. It's one that, or Everyday Greetings. Everyday Greetings coordinates with Greetings of the Season. It is, yeah, it's the other. It is this one. For You, Greetings of the Season. And this is really a pretty set when you get the other one too, especially the Everyday Greetings, 164325, because a lot of those combine to make beautiful sentiments. I'll show you that one too. Everyday Greetings. See how you can mix and match. You've got happy over here in a couple of different fonts, and then you've got birthday, anniversary over here. So this would be a lovely happy anniversary card, birthday, love you. Could be just about anything. But I just thought this For You is going to be really pretty right here. It would also be pretty embossed if you wanted to do that. Use some gold embossing. And on the inside, we're going to use the best wishes. And I've got a little strip of DSP here. That is really big, isn't it? I don't think there's another greeting, though, that we would like any better that's in that same font on the Everyday Greeting. So we'll just use the best wishes. I forgot my piece of paper was quite a bit smaller, but that's okay. Best Wishes is from Julie Davison's $1 Million stamp set that is called With You in Mind. And we've used that on several of our cards. Happy birthday, best wishes, thank you, thinking of you, and some cute little leaves, cupcake, stars, all kinds of things. Okay, I think that's all our stamping on that one. So we'll get our little glue mat out, silicone glue mat. And this little strip is it's probably 3/4 inch by, let's see, I put my rulers up. Let's see. Yep, 3/4. 3/4 of an inch by 3.5 is what I believe this is. And we may have to trim it just a tad. I should warn you if you've got one of my kits. We may want to trim that a tiny bit on both sides for it to fit properly inside. Let's see if we need to do that. My plan was to do that. And then this one goes all the way. The side goes all the way over 5.5. But the white piece of paper is just 5 1/4 tall. So which way do we want that? I think I want to trim it so that I've got a little bit of green on each side. Let me see where our trimmer is. What did I do with that? Oh, right here. I'm going to trim this just a tad on each side, like that much. Not much at all. Oops, that's a little too much. Let's see where we are now. And I'll tell you what the finished size is so you can do it before you stamp and glue yours in. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take this little strip that's on the opposite of the pool party foil strip. And since the foil is on the back, I don't worry about the glue showing through the foil, because it won't show through onto this side that's solid. And that just goes top to bottom, and I believe that's 1 inch. Let's see, yep, 1 inch by 5.5. And then this one now is 3 inches by 5.25. Alrighty. And this is the card that in your kit, if you bought the kit from me with the 20 card kits, and also the PDF tutorial will have this listed as making 2 of these cards, because when you get your actual kit, this card is double this size. You have 2 of these flowers, so I just cut it in half. Boop. And that way I made 2 cards just alike because I had 2 of these. I just thought that was too much of the same thing on the same card, and I really liked the spacing of it doing it this way. So we're going to center this, which I kind of rarely do. Put stuff right in the center. I know a lot of people, it bothers you to have something off sides or off center, but I like doing a little bit of both. As long as it can be balanced and be asymmetrical. Okay, so we're gluing that flat in the center. And that piece of blueberry bushel is 1 3/4 by 5.5. And then we've got a piece of peach that is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. So that this card fits right in the middle of that. And I have a couple of different ideas here. We can wrap. We can put our little, like a double gold bow here. We'll see what y'all think, those of you watching. Hello, Tanya. Glad you're watching. Thanks for tuning in this afternoon.
Kathy Roach is watching.
Oh, I don't see Kathy's response. She must be on Facebook. I don't know why sometimes Facebook things show and sometimes they don't, but I do have Tanya's. So do we think we want to wrap the gold thread around? We had fallen on the floor. Jan and I are both fighting to get the thread. Okay, we could wrap it around like this. I think that's going to cover up too much of our
pretty flower.
Pretty flower. Yeah, we don't want to do that. Never mind. We're just going to pop it up. Okay, we'll pop up this one. We're going to use our side strips. And cut that a little bit more. What are you up to this afternoon, Tanya? Are you getting to do a little crafting? I hope so. That's always a fun day if you get to craft. That's relaxing to me. I don't do it for myself often enough. But I get to do lots of fun things for my Create with Kelly crew. We have a lot of fun when we get together. And poor Jan feels like slave labor, I guess, because she's been over here helping with all these videos. It's quite helpful. But we all learn from each other, and she's made some good suggestions that have helped. All right, let's see if I can do this without tearing that up. Sorry, y'all are looking at a bunch of mess here. I need my work area bigger, and then sometimes I need the work area smaller. I need for y'all to see what I'm doing, and then I don't want you to see what I'm doing on the side there. Okay, this is about all there is to that. And I thought about using a little of that splatter stamp, but I really think this is pretty kind of clean and simple. If you wanted a little bit of that splatter, you could do that before you put your embellishments on. I'm going to go ahead and pop this up. I mean, before you stamp. Not before you stamp. My brain is mush. You want to stamp before you put your dimensionals on and pop it up onto your card. So this one is going to be plain Jane. But I think it's very elegant with that ribbon. And we'll decide if we want the gold dots or if we want the party dots. Isn't that pretty? I like how this leaf shape is picked up over here, but it's really subtle on the side. And we'll see what y'all think. Do we want to use gold dots or do we want to use some party dots? We can try one and take it off. Oh, hi, Lisa. I'm glad you're here. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Glad you like it. Okay, how do I talk? Oh, Tanya's making her Valentine's Day cards. Well, I'm thinking I'm probably not going to get any out. Any Valentine's cards this year. But I may still. I doubt it, but it's possible. Please don't feel slighted, y'all, if you don't get one this year, because y'all know what I've got going on coming up here. Let's see. Do y'all like the gold? Does it pick up that gold? Let's see. With the gold ribbon here. If we want just a little bit right here in this corner is what I'm thinking. And maybe one more of the gold dots in the small size.
Yeah.
And then y'all could, whoops. Some days words are hard. Yes, they are, Lisa. No, tell me what you're referring to. I don't even know what I said. I probably said something that wasn't even a word. Okay. Let me see what y'all think of the peach dots before we commit to the gold. Do we think we like the peach better? Let's look. Although that would be the light one. Okay, y'all saw the gold. Remember what those look like. Then we're going to compare that to the small peach dots. What do you think? If we do the bow, do we want the peach dots? I like the gold dots. Yes to one more dot. Oh, Lisa's saying gold. Okay. Thank you for your input, Lisa. We will go back with gold. Kind of has a more elegant look. And we've got 3 sizes of the gold. Doesn't want to let go of my putty. And do we want one big one? Like, has the center of one of these flowers? I don't want it on the pink, I know. This is not being my friend today. We may just want 2 small and a medium and not a large. Too much with the large there and the bow? Any votes? Too large?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Jan says too large. Let's see. We'll go with another small. I like the heaviest one at the bottom. That could go in the middle of that.
I like it so close to the bow.
Okay.
Because the bow,
Jan says not so close to the bow.
the bow speaks for itself.
The bow speaks for itself. So, I think that's a good note. What do we think? We get a glue dot for our pretty little bow. And we'll let's decide if we want one. Do we want a single bow? Or do we want double bow? Double bow, single bow. What you think? Lisa's liking that where we had it, where the gems are. I'm kind of leaning towards single since we've got all this other. Let's see. There we go. Lisa says either bow looks good. I kind of think it overpowers the flowers a little bit if we do the double, which is the one I thought I liked. But once I get it on there, I'm thinking I want the single. I'm going to make these a little bit smaller tails. And we are going with this one. If I can find my glue dots. Are y'all thinking about which one's your favorite? I need to know. I would love to know in the comments. I will put them all up there again. Y'all be ready. Let me put this. Kind of wrangle my glue dot there. Get my tails right. I'm going to tuck that in really well because you don't want it attaching to your envelope or anything. Kind of fray that out a little bit. Okay, so this is card number. Let me find my others. We've got buried over here. 17, 18. Trying to, ow. Don't scrape off your desk when you've got a pointy scissors and pointy, take your pick tool right there. Because your finger's going to find them. Just a little hint from someone with experience. All right. Left, right, center. 17, 18, 19.
Center.
Okay, we've got one vote for center. What do you think, Lisa? And Tanya, which one's your favorite?
And Kathy.
And Kathy. I think Kathy's watching too. She's watching on Facebook, so her comments are not showing up for me for some reason, but I'm sorry.
Lisa says for you is
for you. Okay, so we've got one vote for this one vote for this one. Tanya, you still on? Would love to know which ones you have. Lisa, did you say you had this Wildflower birthday set? I appreciate y'all tuning in. Thank you so much. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to help real quick. Otherwise, I will turn my camera over and whoops, that's a little close up. A little too close. My hair needs to be a little further away, doesn't it? Goodness. Okay. Lisa doesn't have this set. Okay. Tanya likes the middle one too. Okay. Well, I appreciate your votes. I appreciate you watching, and please share with your crafty friends. That's kind of how I build my channel, is when those of you who enjoy watching my creations happen right before your very eyes. If y'all will share those with others who enjoy crafting, that really makes my day, because I get to share my inspiration and creativity. So thanks again for tuning in. If y'all have any questions, let me know. Thanks again for Jan for helping me. And thanks Lisa and Kathy and Tanya for jumping in and giving opinions too. So thanks so much. Y'all have a great weekend, and watch the other card. Let's see, what are out? I don't know if they're episodes. What are they called? I don't know. Just different videos in my collection. We did 2 cards the first time. Yeah. We've done 2, 2, 2, and then this time we did 3, which is really 4, because in the out of the 20 cards, we make 2 of these. Okay, so thanks a lot. I will see y'all later. Fun times ahead. Bye-bye.